Produced by Malik.
What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Malik at Malik's Water Garden, and you're tuned in here today for a video that is going to talk about all the different fish food I feed my fish. Now in this video we're going to talk about all the food that I have that you can buy from a store or online. It's not specialty food that you have to make or anything like that, that I feed all of my high-end fish, including discus, hypencestrus plecos, zebra plecos, which are also type of hypencestrus, all my higher end corridoras, all the tetras that I keep that are super rare and all wild caught, and also all the food that I feed baby hypencestrus, so L46 fry, and all the other types of picoltia fry that I have, that I breed. Also the food that I feed my angel fry instead of baby brine shrimp, so something that I feed my baby angels without having to hatch angel fish, baby brine shrimp. Also food that I feed my celestial pearl danios, which are microscopic, which I do not have to grow or hatch. It's all dry food, it's all pre-made, it's all easy to use because I work a full-time job, so I've made this very simple for myself and also made sure that my fish get the highest quality nutrition. So I've explained all these details, so please watch till the end. And if you haven't liked this video, please like right now so we can get 25 likes on this video. And also please subscribe to the channel so we can get 250 subscribers. Thank you everybody that have subscribed so far. We are now over 200 subscribers, so let's hit the subscription button if you haven't, so we can get 250 subscribers. And please hit the notification icon so you get notified when new videos like this get uploaded. And please hit the like button so we can get to 25 likes, and go back after you finish watching this video and go back and watch all of my other videos and hit the like button on all of those. What do I feed my fish? Do you lose your mind trying to figure this out? Like, what's good for them? What do we give these guys? Zebra Plecos, $300 a piece. Very, very, very expensive and very special diet requiring. How do you figure out what to feed these guys? And like, how do you feed the wood-eating Plecos, the panaculus, or you know, whatever those leopard cactus or any of these other fancy Plecos? How do you figure out what to feed them? This video is all about that. I'm going to go through every single food that I have in my fish room. They're all laid up on the ground beside me. I actually went through and found everything that I have. I'm pretty sure I'm missing at least one or two in here, but I'm going to go through every single one of these foods and tell you which ones I feed to which fish and why. And also the stuff that I have that I don't actually feed, like this stuff here, this bargain brand flake. I haven't opened this in probably 2 years. It's probably garbage, but I just don't like throwing away stuff. I didn't buy this. This is like a store credit trade-off, but just to feed like some extra fish I had on quarantine, or a few years back. I got this at least 3-4 years ago. So I don't feed this stuff. But I do have some specialty foods that I do feed, and I also have some commercial foods that I feed that actually my fish quite enjoy. So I'm going to go through all that and show you guys what I feed and go through it. So please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is a great time to subscribe. And please, please, please hit the like button. Let's get 25 likes on this video. Let's get 25 likes on this video as well, because the last video got 25 likes. And the last fish room tour video, and the one before after it that I just recently posted, is at like 11 likes, and it's gonna get 25 likes as well. So let's make sure we get 25 likes on this video. And after you watch this video, go back and watch my fish room tour videos and make sure you like those as well, so we can get 25 plus likes on all those videos. As always, I thank you for your support, and watch till the end because this is going to have a lot of information, and I'm going to go through all the special foods that I feed my fish, and at the end I'm going to reveal what I feed my fry, the smallest fish I have, the microscopic fish babies, what I feed them instead of hatching baby brine shrimp. So I'm going to give you that little secret at the end of the video, so please watch till the end so you get that information. And as always, I thank you for your support. I love you all. So let's get to this video. I'm just gonna do a quick pan of all the brands of food that I have here. I have not gotten any of these for free. None of these are sponsored brands. These are actually brands of food that I believe in, that I have tested myself or bought off of recommendations with other people or from other people that I highly trust. This is basically what I feed all of my fish, and if you watch this video, you will learn something about feeding any type of fish, because I have a variety of fish, including fancy Plecos, a lot of different corridors, discus, angelfish, a lot of tetras, guppies, a lot of different types of South American cichlids, different types of danios, and rasboras. So basically, pretty much almost all types of freshwater fish that you can keep in a 40-gallon, except for predatory fish, which I do have food here for, but it's not a complete diet what I have for predatory fish, which I will briefly talk about. But for any other aquarium fish for freshwater, I have very complete diet video here. So I'm going to go through every single one of these foods. I want to add the disclaimer again that I have not been paid by any of these companies. I believe in these foods, and if any of these companies do want to reach out to me and give me samples of these particular foods or anything else that they are producing, I would like to test them out, but I would not sell out on my ethics, because my primary focus is the nutrition of my fish, which are these guys right here. So you will see some of my zebra Plecos right now. There they are. So basically, I want to give them a very complete diet, something that they are going to thrive on and excel on. So that's my primary focus, like not just these fish, but all my hype ancestors, all my fancy Plecos, all my discus, all my angels, all my fish, basically. So my essential core belief is that I would not publicly endorse any food that I do not feed my fish. So if your food is not up to my standards, I will not endorse it. I will not talk bad about it. If you want me to make a video, I will be honest and tell people what I believe and I think about it, but I will not endorse it if I believe that it's not up to the standard of feeding my fish long term. So having said that, let's get to each of these individual foods, and we'll see what each of these foods are and why I decide to feed that stuff. The first food we're going to check out is bargain brand flake food. So this is basically any type of flake food you can buy. It's garbage. Essentially, this stuff has very little nutrition. It's basically like feeding your fish McDonald's every day. The next thing we're going to check out is this stuff, which is the Chinese brand sinking pellet. So this is sinking feed for goldfish. I actually feed these to my fancy goldfish for ven growth, because it's a cheaper alternative to feeding other higher protein food, and it has 48% crude protein, 6% crude fat, which is what's important for me. So these two things are because the fat content is quite low and the protein content is quite high, and especially made food for goldfish for ven growth. So this is why I feed this particular food. The next food we are going to look at is this New Life Spectrum brand. So I'm going to categorize all of the New Life Spectrum dry foods for fish into this one group, and just going to talk about them real quickly and why I like to feed New Life Spectrum, or why I used to actually. This used to be my go-to food before I switched to Tetra Tropical Color, because my fish actually like Tetra Tropical Color better, and they just eat it much more readily compared to this. This is a special one that they have, which is a New Life Spectrum Hex Shield. This little container was $50 plus. I don't feed this that often. I only feed this when I bring new fish in and they have internal parasites or any other internal issues that I want to deal with. I go and give them this for 3 days. Aside from that, I have New Life Spectrum Grow. This stuff is pretty good. There's the guaranteed analysis. Protein is 50%. Fat is 9%, fiber, ash, moisture is 8%, blah blah blah. So this is what's more important to me. What is in there? Herring, krill, wheat flour. This I do not like. So this is one of the reasons why I have been switching away from New Life. After these two containers are completely done, I am not going to buy any more New Life Spectrum food because it has human type food. Anything I'm feeding my fish now, I'm going to predominantly stick to marine or anything that grows in water, as opposed to land-based proteins and whatnot, or carbohydrate sources. So these wheat flour, I am not impressed with. Algae meal, yes. Soybean isolate, no. Fish oil, yes. Beta carotene, yes. Spirulina, yes. Garlic, yes. Vitamin A acetate, deactivated animal sterol. So these stuff, okay, cool. So this is the New Life Spectrum Grow. Highly nutritious food. I like this stuff. This is the New Life Spectrum Community Formula. Medium fish formula. So this is a little bit larger pellet. Crude protein content is 36%. Crude fat content is 5%. I feed this to my goldfish every once in a while. If anybody's in the Greater Toronto area and want to buy this off me, I paid $100 and something. It's pretty much full minus like one of these containers. Not even a full one. Half of these out of there. So there's up to that much food left in there. If anybody wants, make me an offer and I will sell that to you. So let's move on from New Life Spectrum. The next food we're going to look at is this Nutrifin brand. This is a Canadian brand and I actually really like this stuff. Made in Canada, and I love seeing this maple leaf sign every single time because it makes me feel very proud because I am a Canadian citizen myself. And I like to use things that are made in Canada if it is actually well made. And I've been finding quite a bit of their food very well made for a lot of my fish. So I feed this. Actually, I feed both of these. I feed the Bug Bites color enhancing. This stuff is gorgeous. My fish love it. High ancestors, all my zebra plecos, all my L33 king tigers, they love this stuff. So let's see what's in here. Crude protein is 45% and crude fat is 12.5%. And so the fat content is a little bit higher than what I like. But let's see what it's made out of. So let's see. Up here, you can read it yourself. Black soldier fly larvae, salmon, fish protein concentrate, wheat, potato, I do not like those two, shrimp meal, decalcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, D-L-methionine. So it just keeps on going and naming all these compounds. But the main ingredients that I like are the top 5, which are black soldier fly larvae, salmon, fish protein concentrate, shrimp meal, and all that. So that 4, and wheat and potatoes I do not like. So, but my fish love this stuff, so I feed this at least once a week. I have it in this container. This is what it looks like. So it's kind of bigger granules. So what I end up doing, this stuff stinks, by the way. So if you are feeding this, just remember it's gonna smell really bad. So it actually smells like snake poop. Like if you ever kept a ball python, this literally smells just like snake poop. So it reeks. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, what I do is I take a little bit in my hands and I crush it really well onto, like, for example, this tank here where you see these tetras. You know, they will try to eat the whole thing, but if I crush it up a little bit, they eat it quite well. The fry seem to like this stuff too. Angelfish fry, like really small angelfish fry coming off of baby brine shrimp, which I don't feed. I feed decapsulated brine shrimp eggs. So after that, the next thing I would start is something like this. Just crush a bunch of this into the tank and they eat it. So the next thing from Nutrifin that I like to feed my Plecos is this stuff here, which is the Bug Bites Bug Larvae Fish Food Pleco Formula. So Nutrifin, if you are watching, I have been trying to get larger containers of this stuff. I would love to get a 5-pound or 2-pound container of this. So if you are watching, please let me know where I can find a larger 2-pound bale like this here. Of the Pleco formula, because I go through more of the Pleco formula than the regular formula, because I feed this to my Plecos at least once a week. So let's see what's in here. So black soldier fly larvae, so you can read it right there. Salmon, wheat, green peas, potatoes. I do not like the last 3, but you know, whatever. Salmon and soldier fly larvae are good. So high protein. And let's see, protein content is 32%, fat content is 12%. So this I give them, once a week, just to give them a balance instead of just feeding them like pure protein every single day. So this is something I really like feeding them, and they really like this stuff. Like Plecos, my Plecos go gangbusters for this, and also the regular color enhancing granules as well. But like this stuff, you would not believe, they go gangbusters for both of this. Nutrifin brand, I highly recommend. The next thing, all of my fish, actually yes, let me add that there. Everybody likes this. Everybody likes the bug bites color enhancing. All of my fish. Discus love this stuff. I feed this to my discus. Essentially my discus eat these two foods on a regular basis. All of my fish room can survive with just these two foods. So if you are a fish keeper and you want to keep higher end fish, these are the two higher end commercial brands that I recommend. That anybody can find this in any store, online, Amazon Prime. I actually got these two, all three of these from Amazon Prime. So you can get this from Amazon Prime. So yes, Tetra Tropical Color Granules and Nutrifin Bug Bites. All my fish love it. Next fish food that I want to talk about is this here, Tetra Tropical Color Granules. I was very reserved at buying this food because this is the most commercial out of all the foods that I feed and most widely available, and also the most advertised. So when something is more advertised than others, I'm a little bit skeptical and reserved, especially when it comes to nutrition, because it's just, you're spending all that money on advertising instead of product development. So like, I would assume in my own head at least that there is some trade-off in terms of quality. So but after being quite reserved, I actually did bite the bullet and buy one of these containers about 12 months ago now, and I would like to say the results have been amazing. All my fish love this stuff. The discus, I had some finicky discus that I don't have right now. They're at my friend's house. I sold them to my friend, but that pair were not eating any of the other fish food I had, even the discus specific food, and they were gonna die. And then I started feeding them this stuff. They're back to health. Everybody's doing great. They love this stuff. All of my discus love this. All of my fancy Plecos, Zebra Plecos love this. All the angels love this. All my L015 Pecultias love this. So this I highly recommend as a baseline food, once a week type of deal, twice a week. This is really good, and especially if you have nothing else, you can feed this. Or when you're waiting for like specialty food like these Sarah brands to come in, and it takes a few weeks to get here. And in between that, you can definitely feed this stuff. Let's see what's in here. Fish meal, whole grain meal, I'm not happy about. Whole flour, corn, gluten, feeding oatmeal, dehydrated soybean meal, potato, protein, shrimp meal. So basically, it's made out of all of this stuff here. It does have a 47.5% protein content and a 6.5% fat content. So it has high protein content, so that's good. It has a lower fat content, so that's good. But what I'm not happy about is all of this stuff. The wheat germ meal, wheat flour, corn gluten, feeding oatmeal. A fish would naturally not eat any of this stuff. So basically, this is as artificial as fish food can get, okay? I would not recommend feeding this alone long term. Just myself, I would not do it. Although it is a really good food and the fish really like it, it's again probably like a higher end restaurant food. Like you wouldn't want to live off of like restaurant food every single day, especially if it's the same restaurant, right? So I would not recommend this every day, but I do feed this once a week to all of my fish. Active Life Formula, antioxidant, select proteins, probiotics. So just sell. It's just the most colorful packaging. They're trying really hard to sell. It has red on it, so they've spent some money on the marketing, yellow, red. They've done their marketing, P's and Q's. So, but having said that, it is a good food that I do recommend as a baseline, especially if you cannot find other stuff. This is a really good dry food for community fish, even for specialty fish like discus. I wouldn't just feed this alone, which is why we're going to get to the next fish food that you're going to see in this video. So if you haven't liked this video, please like this video and watch till the end, because at the end I'm going to show you what I feed all my really small fry, like microscopic fry, okay? Like things that you cannot even barely see with your naked eye. I have food for that I don't have to hatch. No vinegar eels, no stinking, no hatching baby brown shrimp. I'm going to show you that trick, so watch till the end. And please, please, please like this video so we can get 25 likes in this video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Now we're coming to the more exciting stuff, which is a specialty food. So this stuff doesn't even sell in the US. You have to buy this special order from Germany or a company that stocks these. I have not found anybody that I can buy this from in Canada or from the States to Canada. So I'm buying this specially from Germany, from a shop called eboaquaristic.nl. And that's where I get this from. It's quite expensive to get it here. It's 49.95 euros for shipping alone, plus the cost of the food, which is about 35 to 40 euros for one of these containers, or no, 30 euros or something like that. So about 35 bucks or 40 bucks Canadian. So this is a Sarah Discus Grand. So this is what I like to feed my discus on a regular basis, or something like this. Okay, special food made for discus. And I wouldn't just feed this either. So this is something I would mix with what you just saw, which is the Tetra tropical color and the Nutrofin bug bites, especially the Nutrofin bug bites. So if I were to feed this, I would feed this 3 times a week, and the Nutrofin bug bites the 3 times of the week, and I'll give them something else once a week, like a frozen food or a freeze-dried or something, just to give them a variety. Okay. But let's see what's in here. Like, this is not even in English. I don't think there's any instructions in English in here, any of the information, what it's trying to say. No, protein is 53% and 10% fat and 2.9% fibers. So, oh, this is what it's made out of. Krill, algae. This is a specialty food. I don't think they use any other wheat germ type of stuff. I mean, if they do, it's a little bit, it's fine. There's nothing else I can do. That's in all the fish foods that I have here that I've shown you so far. But this is definitely something I recommend feeding your discus if you want to have optimal health long term. Also, there are other foods that you can buy that are specially made for discus. Just get something with a higher protein content of at least 45 to 50% protein, and have at least 3 different kinds of food that you rotate on a daily basis. Every other day, you know, you feed one thing one day and you feed something else the next day. Don't feed the exact same food every day, because they will get to a point where they won't eat anymore. So now we're gonna come to the specialty food for your Plecos, which is where everybody's gonna want to know what this part of the video. This is like the interesting bit. This is a very wide area of a topic to handle in one small video, but I'm just gonna give you guys an idea of what I feed my Plecos. I keep mostly Hypancestris and Pecultia species, so smaller Pleco species. Okay, most of the Plecos I keep are also highly carnivorous. I don't actually keep any of the wood-eating Plecos myself right now. I am gonna get some blue Panax at some point, or some L397s, which will be eating this predominantly. So basically what this is a Pleco specific diet for wood eating Plecos, and it has 4% spirulina, and it's called Syrah Vels chips. Okay, again, the information is not in English, and cannot really figure out what this stuff is saying, but the crude protein content is 31.2%, and the crude fat content is 7.2%. And so there's the other stuff. But the good thing about this food is that it contains alderwood. So a portion of the food is actual alderwood. Okay, so it has ground up alderwood added to the food, which gives the fish the increased wood content in their diet that they need, especially your Panax and wood eating catfish. So this is something you would need most, particularly if you have wood eating Plecos. You would definitely need this. Quite expensive again, and you have to special order it from Germany. I get it from the same website, and there's a few different websites that sell this in UK as well, so you can get it from either one of those sources. You are going to pay shipping if you live in North America, like quite a bit, but it's worth it. So I feed this to all my Plecos once a week to once every 2 weeks, just to get them healthier stuff into their digestive system, because even though most of the Plecos I keep are all predominantly carnivorous, they do enjoy eating this. They don't go after it like some of the meatier stuff, but they definitely enjoy eating it, and it's definitely healthy for them, and it's good for their digestion. So I highly recommend giving this at least twice a month to all your Hypensestrus species, or something similar to this, or have a lot of different types of wood in your tank so that they can munch on and rasp on. And also for fry, you can use cholla wood, which is really great. And also I use what do I use? I don't use catappa leaves. I use oak leaves. So I go out every fall and I go collect oak leaves. I collect about, I don't know, a garbage bag full of oak leaves. I wash them in hot boiling water, dry them up, and I keep them all year, and I throw it into all my tanks. So there's a video actually online on how I do that. I'll put the link up here so you can go check it out after this. Now we're gonna look at something that I think you would definitely need if you are keeping Hypensestrus, which is this stuff here, Spirulina tabs. I get mine from Gemco. It's actually about, this is not that expensive if you buy it from Gemco. I try to find you the Gemco label, but there, pure Spirulina tabs. So let's see what's in here. Pure Spirulina tabs, and this thing has vitamins, ingredients. Spirulina algae contains the following. So this has only Spirulina algae, okay? This is why I love this food. It smells like Spirulina algae. It's really good. You can eat this yourself, and this is healthy, has a lot of antioxidants, and it's definitely good for both fish and for humans. So this is also human grade, but obviously it doesn't say it on here, but they sell human grade pills. Spirulina algae contains the following: vitamins beta carotene, vitamins A, B11, thiamine, B12, riboflavin, B3, niacin, B6, B12, vitamin E, D alpha, tocopherol, inositol, biotin, folic acid, pantothenic acid. Minerals: calcium, magnesium, iron, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, magnesium, manganese, zinc, boron, copper, molybdenum. Okay. Fatty acids: 6. Essential linoleic acid, gamma linoleic. So it has all this stuff. And then let's see what the protein levels are. Crude protein is 60%. Carbohydrate is 19%. And lipids is 6%. Minerals is 8%, and moisture is 7%. So if you are gonna keep Hypensestrus or any Plecos, this is definitely what you need to feed them at least once or twice a week. All my fish love it. I will put some B-roll footage of my L46 zebra Plecos eating this stuff up here, so you can see them going to town on this. They love this stuff. This is so good for them. I don't think there's anything else that you can feed that is as good as this. I feed quite a bit of this for my L46 fry, mixed with some of the other stuff which I'm going to show. But yes, this is what you need to feed all your fancy Plecos at least once or twice a week. This stuff is great for them. Just the mineral content and protein content, it's amazing. Okay, so yes, and when you feed it, all the poop in the tank the next day becomes green, so you can see that they've eaten it and that it's working. Next up, we're going to really quickly look at some of the other algae wafer type products I feed my Plecos. This stuff, like before, I give this maybe once every 2 weeks or so. So twice a month they'll get this stuff here, which is New Life Spectrum Algae Max Wafers. I'm almost done this, and I actually like this product. I am going to order this again. It's definitely a win for New Life Spectrum, because I bought this to try it out, and I definitely like it. Let's see what's in here. Chlorella seaweed, Ulva seaweed, red seaweed, kelp, spirulina, wakama seaweed, whole Antarctic krill, giant squid, whole wheat flour, Equima cotinii, I don't know how to pronounce that, spinosum seaweed, Carnadrum crispus, whole Mehendon fish, okay, omega-3 fish oil, garlic, ginger, astaxanthin, marigold, so on and so forth. This stuff I actually like, because the only thing I don't really, like in here is the wheat flour, but everything else is a marine product. A lot of different types of seaweeds, It says large amounts of variety of aquatic vegetables that mimic natural herbivorous diet. No soybean additive, which is great. So definitely a win. Made in USA. So definite win for New Life Spectrum. I'm definitely buying this again, and definitely feeding this to my fish. And let's see, the protein levels are 34%, fat levels are 8%, and these vitamins and ash is 12%, moisture is 10%. So not too bad. If I didn't have some of the other stuff, I would feed this more often, but because I have like stuff like the pure spirulina tabs, this gets like a secondary role once every 2 weeks or so, but I do feed this quite a bit. These two products here I might actually not buy anymore. I also bought these to try out. This one I'm definitely not buying again. This is garbage, but my fish definitely like it. Just like you and I like McDonald's, the fish definitely like junk food. So let's see what's in here. Composition: cereals. Wow, no thank you. Cereal. Okay, so probably like variety of wheats and grains. Vegetable protein extract, so like definitely like palm tree oil or something like that. Derived of vegetable origin, yeast, algae, spirulina, 1% spirulina. Okay, oh my god, this is just garbage. Oils and fats, minerals, they don't even tell you what type of oils and fats and minerals. Analytical constituents, crude protein 29%, crude oils and fats 6%, crude fiber 5%. Yeah, no thank you. So definitely not gonna buy this again. It does have a best before date. They did their research. Yellow packaging, shiny, has this little thing saying spirulina algae. The spirulina is in the middle, 1% spirulina, the rest is cereal. Like, even my zebra plecos eat this stuff if I throw it in there, and I have I'm just feeding this out probably once every 4 to 6 weeks. They'll get one time just to flush out their stomachs, essentially, because it does have cereal in it, so it does help the digestive tract quite a bit. So I do use this for that purpose. Every 4 to 6 weeks I've been feeding this out over the last year. It's almost done. I'm not buying this again, so that's that food. Real quickly, I'm gonna add this stuff here. Kelp wafers. My fish are not particularly fans of this stuff, but they do eat it. I do get to eat. This is very misleading. That's a carnivorous fish, so is probably, well, these are herbivores, but that's a carnivorous fish. They do not eat algae, but my hype ancestors, who are carnivores as well, do nibble on this when I don't feed them anything else. The reason I like this is because it has more organic marine products than the previous product we just looked at. The ingredients in here are organic kelp, whole Antarctic krill meal, high omega-3, DHA herring meal, whole sardine meal, wheat flour, spirulina, garlic, astaxanthin, montmorillonite, Montmorillonite clay. There we go. Sorry, I'm gonna beep that out now. Vitamin A, ascalate, blah 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 blah. Ingredients, that's in French. Guaranteed 33% protein, 4% fat. Good stuff. But my fish are not huge fans of this. Sinking wafers, 14 millimeters long, and it says natural color enhancing. It does not cloud the water, but it does break apart quite easily. So there's like, everywhere it drops, there's bunches of like green goop just sitting there, and then eventually the fish do get to it. Not a huge fan myself, because my fish are not a huge fan of it, but I do plan to feed this every 4 to 6 weeks, just to give them added vegetable content, but very sparsely. The next type of foods we're going to look at real quickly are the freeze-dried varieties. This is freeze-dried bloodworms. You can buy this in bulk from Gemco. It's about 10-15 bucks for a quarter pound, I believe. It's not so bad. I feed this like once every 2-3 weeks. All my fish get this, and except for the discus, everybody else likes this. The discus nibble on it, but I don't see them getting this into their stomachs as everybody else. But the angels, every other tetras, hypancestris, once it falls to the ground, including shrimp, love this stuff. So yeah, that's that. Next up is the freeze-dried tubifex worms. I'm allergic to this product, by the way, so if I am sneezing or feeling agitated, it's because it gives me allergic reaction, so I don't like to touch that too often. The next one is freeze-dried tubifex cubes. I'm also allergic to this product, but not as bad as the freeze-dried bloodworms. I feed this stuff once every 2 weeks or so, just as a treat. All my fish except discus like this stuff. The discus nibble on it, but they don't seem to get, this is not everyday food for your discus. I know some people say it's good for them, but I don't see them living off of this type of stuff. It's not healthy. You need to give a discus specific dry food that's specially made for them, and you can give this stuff as a treat. Also, the discus seem to really enjoy spirulina tablets. I've seen them eat that quite a bit, and so that's something you can consider, especially if you're keeping Plecos and discus. You can try giving them that. The next thing we're going to check, so this is the package the freeze-dried tubifex comes in. I get it from Gemco. 50% protein, 5% fat, and 8% moisture. So 5% fiber, 5% fat. That's I think a quarter pound, yeah. And then there's another quarter pound in there. This comes in a similar package and has similar nutritional values. And then the next thing we're going to look at real quickly is the freeze-dried brine shrimp, which is in this bottle. These are some sheets. I have both sheets and cubes. I like the sheets because it's a little bit cheaper, and you can break your own size instead of the cubes being broken to the specific size. 50% protein, 2% fat, 4% fiber. So great fish food, not everyday food. The discus seem to eat this more than the other two freeze-dried products, so I do feed this to my discus. So I just break a little piece. I'll show you like this. I'm not as allergic to this product, so it's not so bad for me as long as I don't get it on my skin. So I like break a piece like that, and I take it into my discus tank, and I stick it in the glass, and I'll show you that in a second. Just gonna feed these guys that. There it is. See if they would eat it. Just as a treat. Now we're coming to the more exciting stuff. So this stuff is basically, this is what I like to feed my hypancestris. It's quite expensive. Ebo Aquaristic Artemia Pro Soft Grain. I get this from Gold Coast Aquatics, but all this other stuff comes from the same Ebo Aquaristic shop. So you can get this from Germany as well. It's just more expensive to ship. You're buying it from the US, the shipping is a little bit cheaper, but it probably does work out to be the same. So this stuff is really good. Doesn't say what's in here. I will try to put some nutritional information. It has a really high protein content. I think it's about 55-60%. Really good, really soft food. I feed this to baby hypancestris when I bring them out of like off of this stuff, or off of before I used to feed them decapsulated brine shrimp and spirulina. So when they come off of brine shrimp, decapsulated brine shrimp, this is what they go on to. So that's that. Really good food, special for hypancestris. These are for hypancestris grow. So I'm using this now instead of baby brine shrimp and spirulina. I was using baby brine shrimp and spirulina, but I was not having the luck that other people have been having with this stuff. So therefore I have switched to this based on recommendations. So I can't really talk too much about this because I haven't used this too long. These two are brand new actually. I have used the spirulina paste before, and with considerable success. I got this youngster grow paste for my L199s. Actually, that's probably L199 on the picture, if not a 3333. So I'm gonna try this stuff out, and that's that. This stuff I am not a huge fan of, but my fish definitely love it. Ebo aquaristic plankton tabs. So again, protein content is above 55-60%. Really good food for hypencestrus. Great for fry as well as adults. I mean, really small fry. I wouldn't like dump a lot of this in there, but like break little bits. Let me show you how it looks like so you have an idea. So these little tabs, you can break it into like eighths, and then take a bit of that and then throw it in each fry boxes. It dissolves into the water, or it breaks down pretty fast and just sits there on the ground. And the Plecos seem to go over it and just suck it all into their mouths and eat it. So definitely good for fry, definitely good for adults as well. I don't feed this too often to my adults just because it's very pricey, one, and then two, it breaks down pretty fast in the water column and doesn't give them enough time to eat it. But really high quality food. Let me show you what the Artemia Pro Soft looks like. See, very soft. Actually, something I have to mention is that this stuff is what I feed my Altum angels when they come from the wild. So any wild caught Altum angels coming in, once they get frozen bloodworms for about 3 days, I switch them onto this as their first dry food, and they chase this stuff down. Like, I have an Altum, I'll try to put some B-roll footage of this, him eating this food. He chases this stuff down. As well, I'm going to put B-roll footage of all the fish fish eating the foods as I'm talking, so that you will get to see that. So the next food I'm going to show you is something I just got a few weeks ago, about a week ago actually, and I have been trying it out. I have really liked this. This is Dr. Basilier's Biofish Food. This is the garlic version, and this has fish and fish derivatives, crustaceans, cereal derivatives of vegetable origin, yeast, mineral, and garlic. But the thing I like about this stuff is that the protein content is 54% and the fat content is 6%, and has garlic and has other little bits added to it to make fish healthy. So this is something I like to feed my fry, hypencestrus fry, as well as discus and other, you know, fancy Pleco fry, any types of small fish fry. This is really small food. Even angel fry, like a couple of times a week, I'll give them this stuff. Actually not this particular one, but this one here, which is the same thing without the garlic, and has all this good stuff in it, vitamins and minerals. So this is what I get this for, like this added mineral content. My friend recommended this for me, and so I bought this, and I'm very pleased with it. I haven't used it enough to give you a full review and recommendation, but I am very pleased with this product. And this is their baby fish formula and nano, really small particles. I haven't even opened this because I don't actually have the need for it, because I have so much other baby fish. I am feeding this type of stuff. I bought this predominant to feed to my hypencestrus fry. So all this food you're seeing right now that you just saw are for hypencestrus fry. So that this is basically what they're going to be eating going on 2020 onwards. Okay, now I'm going to show you what I have been feeding them in the past that I have had really good success with, which is this stuff here, decapsulated brine shrimp eggs, which I get from California Blackworms. You can get this stuff from a lot of different places, including Gemco. California Blackworms is where I got this particular batch from. They're all the same stuff. Really good. Just make sure there are no capsule, like the shells, because that shell is harmful to baby fish, especially hypencestrus. I've had suffered losses in the past where my fish have eaten this and stopped eating because something got stuck in it. That's what I believe, at least. I mean, it hasn't been proven because I didn't cut the fish up to test it, but my theory is that's what caused that. So I am sticking away from this, and that's one of the reasons why I got all of this other food to feed to my baby hypencestrus. But this food is great for baby angels, not as a first food, but once they get to the size where they can eat this, which is about a few days free swimming, you can start feeding them this and it grows them quite fast. The protein content is above 50%. The fat content is about 9 or 10%. Great food, and because it hasn't had to go through the hatching process, it has 100% nutrition. So whatever the brine shrimp has, this has whole nutrition. This is a superior product to hatching brine shrimp. So I highly recommend getting this stuff. The next food I'm going to talk about is this stuff here, which is the tropical bites for discus, cichlids, and all tropical fish. Now this is something I feed my hype ancestors fry when I don't have, before I had all this other fancier stuff. This is what I used to feed them with the baby brine shrimp. So it's a really small pellet granule, about 1 millimeter or half a millimeter across, and has a protein content of 45% and a fat content of 8%. So this does have decent amount of protein, and it's really good for your hype ancestors. So I used to give them this, and spirulina tabs. So crushed up spirulina tabs, or just, you know, powdered spirulina. So those are the three things that I used to feed my hype ancestors in the past. And going on, starting 2020, these are the new foods that I'm feeding the hype ancestors fry. Okay, so that's that. And also I'd quickly like to add this stuff right here is just spirulina powder. Where is that? Right there, the green stuff. I'm not gonna pull it out. Really good for rainbow fry, good for Daniel fry, to mix with. And I will show you what I mix that with after in a second. But that's what you need to use if you are gonna have really small fish. I'm not gonna open this because actually I'll open and show you. It's just dust, essentially, just green dust. See, green dust. So that's great. Another thing I like to add is, at this stage, fish fry are very small and they need a lot of nutrition, a lot of variety of diet. So natural aspartame powder, 4 ounces. This was quite expensive actually, and it'll just, you can just read, see what's in there. You know, it has all these different types of carotenoids or whatever they are. It's just good for fish. Just add a little bit of this. It'll show you how 1/14% or less by weight, 1 to 3 grams per kilogram of feed. So anytime I open a container of food, I like to add a little bit of this just to give it a little bit more added beneficial stuff. You don't have to, but again, I got this from Gemco. Both of these products, great for fry. The next thing I like to feed my fry definitely is actually this stuff is great. Freeze-dried Daphnia. I feed this to adult fish as well to condition them. It's a little bit, there's fine powder in there as well, but there's also bigger particles, so you just have to break it up a little bit if you're feeding it to really small fish. Really good stuff. Protein content is, I think, above 45 to 50%. Also really good to condition fish, tetras and stuff for spawning. Corridors love this stuff. Corridors fry, love it. Angelfish fry, love this stuff. So I'll show you them eating this stuff in a second, actually, in video, in some B-roll. And then this stuff is freeze-dried rotifers. So if I do not have my golden pearl, which is what I'm going to show you next, I use this. I take a pinch of this and I melt it into the water. So I just take it into my hands and I put a little bit of water and I grind it in my hand into pulp, and I keep dipping my hand into the water and I watch it become liquefied into the water column. And that's the first thing I feed my baby angels. Okay, and you can feed this for almost any baby fish as long as you follow that process. And if as they get bigger, you just take a bit, and instead of melting it into the water or, like, you know, pulping it in your fingers, you just, you know, crush it up and throw it on top of the water, and it just, you know, becomes the size that they can eat. This is great, actually, also from California bloodworms. I love this stuff. I go through quite a bit of this, and this saves me from this product, and the product I'm about to show you next saves from having to hatch bloodworms. This is what I've been talking about, and thank you for watching this far into the video. And if you have, you are great. It's almost at the end. This is the holy grail of my fish room, at least in my opinion, in terms of fry food, is the Golden Pearls 5 to 50 micron dust. This is, I call it dust. Ingredients: high quality fish meal, crustacean meal, purified fish oils, phospholipids, astatine, vitamins, and protected minerals, antioxidants, and immunostimulants. Okay, great stuff. 60% protein, 8% lipids. I will put some b-roll footage of some of my CPD fry, and you will see why this stuff is literally the greatest in the world, because it's like microscopic powder, and I take a bit into my hands, like a tiny bit, and I wash my fingers into the tank, and it becomes this dusty like cloud. And the little CPD fry, which are like smaller than hairs, you can barely see them, they're microscopic actually. I will put some b-roll footage up here so you can see what I'm talking about. They eat this stuff, and I have very good survival rate. Also, with any other small Tetra species, anything that I'm breeding that's small, that the fry are hair like smaller than microscopic, this is what I feed them. Great for baby rainbow fish. So I feed this stuff to my Plecos fry. I feed this stuff to my Congo Tetra fry. When the first thing, any fry in my fish room, including angels, for the first day and a half to 2 days, get this. And once they are off of this, I still keep putting a little bit in there. If there's a fry that cannot eat bigger food, they have access to this. So you only need to feed this for a few days for most fish, but for like celestial pearl daniels, for example, I will have to feed this for at least 3 weeks. I buy like quite a bit of this. I go through it. One of these quarter pounds is about $15, so it's not that bad. You can get it from California blackworms, as well as angel fins, which is here in Canada. So whichever one you prefer to shop at, this is what I feed all my fry as a first food, except for hypancestors, because for them you obviously saw what I feed them. So that's the end of that video. I thank you for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and please like this video, and please write comment below, and please stay tuned. I had an ick outbreak in this tank. I am going to make a video about that. These green neon tetras are probably not going to make through. There was over 80 green neon tetras in this tank, and I dumped so much medication in here. I did everything I could, and I still ended up losing almost all of them, and then whatever is left is still covered with ick. So that's the video coming up soon. Stay tuned for that, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification icon, so when that video gets uploaded, you get notified. Alright, real quickly, I want to add this bit to the video of all the frozen foods that I also have in my freezer. Most of the food you're seeing in here are for my dog. She's on a prey model diet. There's a few bags of meat and you know, meatballs and stuff for me, but everything else, all this is for the dog. There's fish, sardines, salmon, chicken, beef, pork, pork legs, and all that stuff for the dog. And also have frozen food for fish. I fully believe that the frozen foods is an inferior product to most of the higher end dry foods that I have listed above, but I do want to give special highlight to some of this stuff, because I do have this and I do feed this, and certain occasions this is the only thing some of my fish would eat, especially like wild caught Altum angels, for example. I start them off on bloodworms here, and then I move them on to the Ebo aquaristic arrhythmia soft, super soft grain. So this is the Hikari bloodworms, pure. Some of the nutritional information in here. Crude protein is 6%. Whoa, am I reading that right? 6%. Wow. Crude fat 0.5%. Moisture 89%. This stuff is like, I mean, it's not doing anything to your fish. You're just giving it, if they're not eating nothing else, this is all they're gonna eat, so you feed them that stuff. So that's that. Bloodworms, also from Hikari. I bought this also for the Altums. Protein is 5%. Fat is 0.8%. Wow, you know, not doing much for your fish. brine shrimp. This seems to be a better product a little bit. Oh my god, no. 4% protein, 0.4% fat, moisture 92%. So this is mostly water you're feeding your fish. More tubiflex worms. We just saw this, so I've been feeding this to the Ultims. Baby brine shrimp, just in case. Let's see what is in here. 3%. Fat is 1.5%, and moisture is 95%. So this food is essentially garbage, unless your fish is not eating anything else, or as a treat. I would not recommend this food for any amount of period of time. I barely feed this stuff. It's only as a treat. Once every 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, I just feel like, okay, they should get some frozen food, and I just mostly just to get it done. This is just stuff I get from the pet store as trade-ins. That concludes the video of all the fish foods that I have in my fish room, and all the food that I feed all my fish. I thank you so much for watching the video this far. It's a quite long one, and I know you've taken the time to watch it, so thank you so much for that. We're almost at 200 subscribers, so thank you so much. A video about that is going to come out probably right before this. It's gonna be saying thank you so much for the 200 subscribers. We're at 197 when I'm filming it right now. This video took me a few days to film and put together. Actually about a week's worth of time on and off, and also well, just in terms of editing and everything, it took me about 7 days in total to put it together. So by the time you're seeing this, a few videos would have come out. And my hair is definitely different. I've gotten a haircut since the beginning clip was filmed. So you're going to definitely notice that if you've been paying attention, that throughout the video my appearance has changed quite a bit. Also, I work in film and television, so if you do notice, I do change my appearance based on some of the roles that I do have to play according to my work. So having said that, thank you so much for watching. A new video is going to come out right after this or right before this about how I deal with how I've been dealing with an ick outbreak in one of my tanks, and the strict quarantine procedures I am implementing to stop the spread of ick virus. I've gotten a super ick virus, which is a type of ick that is not susceptible to heat treatment, so it did decimate the population of the green neon tetras that was in that tank. I'm making a video about that. You will see that, I'm pretty sure, right before this. So if you haven't, please go back and look at that video and check it out, and please hit like on that video. I want to get at least 25 likes on all of my videos, so please hit the like button on this video so we can get 25 likes on this video as well. And go back and like all the other videos on the playlist and watch them, and comment below so we can get 25 likes and get every video on the algorithm. I thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I'm going to put some B-roll footage at the end of this of the fish eating as well. The music that you're going to hear in the background is produced by myself. So everything you're seeing, hearing, watching, all of it is all content copyrighted to myself. I've actually worked real hard to put all of this together over this is not just for YouTube. This is what I do. I write music for TV. That's one of the jobs that I do, and so I do have quite a bit of music in my catalog, and this song that I'm going to be using for the last few videos as well as some of the coming videos is one of the songs I wrote for a TV station, which I still own the rights for, so I'm using it. So if you like that, please let me know. If you don't, please let me know that. If you want me to use a different type of music, let me know genres and stuff, because I do write quite a bit of different music, so I can implement different kinds of music. It's not something I've put a lot of thought into in terms of YouTube, but it's something I feel that is definitely going to make your experience better. I've tried really hard to make this video as visually appealing as possible as well. It's not a sales gimmick, but I just really want you guys to enjoy what you're watching while you're getting the content. So I hope you like that. Please let me know what you think down below, and as always, I thank you all. I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. As always, God bless.